You want to hear something I did when I was in school?
Yeah, what happened?
I went to, okay, so I went on holiday with my parents. We went to Las Vegas when I was like 12. And I bought a tiny little gift shop thing where it's a little slot machine that when you pull back on the thing, it shocks you.
Oh.
Right? I brought it home.
Oh, I think you told this one before.
Well, go on. I don't remember it.
But I went into school and I got my business teacher to pull it. He pulled it and he fell on the ground. And he looked up at me really angry and red-faced, and he threw it back at me, and he didn't say anything, and he walked away. And then I did it to my, I think she was my business teacher, but she was teaching me religion at the time. But anyway, she did it, and then she laughed super hard, and then instantly she stopped laughing, and she was like, you've got detention for a week. You're in big trouble. I'm taking this. And it was right after she was laughing hysterically, so it scared the shit out of me. And then I asked her, could I have it back at the end of the day? And she said, okay.
Did he get in trouble for throwing it at you?
No. I shocked the teacher.
Oh,
I should have been in trouble.
That's true, you did shock a teacher.
I don't know why he didn't...
It can't be like an actual electrical shock.
That's what...
It wasn't an actual electrical
Like, it's
shock.
one of those things that just
I thought it was
buzzes.
like a little minor thing, like a little buzz.
No, it fucking hurt, and I did, it was... No, everyone I did it to was like, fucking hell, that's bad. I did it to my grandpa, and he was like, but that was because he used to grab electric fences to climb over
used to
them.
being electrocuted.
Yeah. No, it's true. He really was.
He welcomes the sweet embrace of death.
My grandpa's hands were like fucking hobbit feet.
He grabbed it and just never let go and said, yes, thank you, Christopher.
But, yeah, so that teacher fell on his ass and he was fucking pissed. I told you about the teacher who said I threw a nail in her eyeball, right? I did tell you that, didn't I?
Christopher threw it in a straight arc and it went directly into my eye.
I must have told you that story, no?
I don't know, you didn't tell us that one.
Oh, well, okay. One time, I was...
Is that what she said? She caught it in her eye?
No, it was the most bizarre thing. I think this teacher got fired shortly after, because she was just a crazy bitch, but... she was my art teacher in St. Peter's, and she was this big stupid bitch. It was the end of the day, last class was art. I stood up, put my chair on my table like I was supposed to, put my bag on my back, said not a word, staring into space, but suddenly this big monstrously fat bitch turns around, looks me in the eye, slaps herself in the eyeball, keeps her hand on her face, points at me and says, "You threw a nail in my eye!" And I was like, "What?" And she's like, "You! Detention!" And I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" She was like, "You threw a nail in my eye!" And I was like, "No, I didn't! What are you talking about? I was just standing here." She's like, "Detention!" And I was like, "Okay." And then I walked outside and my mom was parked there and I got into the car just completely dumbfounded and she's like, "What's your problem?" Like, I just got detention and my mom goes, "Oh, for fuck's sake, Chris, what the fuck did you do this time?" Like, I didn't do anything. The teacher said I threw a nail in her eyeball. I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. My mom's like, "Oh, would you ever shut the fuck up?" And I'm like, "What? I didn't do anything." And I'm like, "Mom, I swear to God, I didn't do anything. She just said I threw a nail in her eyeball. What sense does that make? I didn't even have a nail to begin with." My mom's like, "So if I go in and talk to her, you're telling me she's like lying?" I'm like, "Yes." My mom's like, "For fuck's sake." She gets out of the car, slams the door. She's really pissed off at me. Walks inside, and I'm just waiting in the car for 10 minutes. Then my mom comes back out, sits down dumbfounded. She's like, "She's a fucking crazy bitch." I'm like, "Thank you." And then it turns out she just didn't even mark me down for detention. She just forgot. She was just crazy.
That's the worst, like, lie you could come up with,
She was just crazy. I don't know what the fuck her problem was. She got fired after we went on school tour. I think the last thing I ever said to her was, "I like your stupid sunglasses." Detention! Did I ever tell you about the guy in my school who was like... Well, that's the story. It's like... He was considered the dumbest guy in school and everyone made fun of him all the time. And then one day the teacher came in, she was like, we're doing... Oh, fuck. We're doing the school magazine. Everybody write an article. And, well, if you want. And then he was like, "I want to write an article." And everyone was like, "Oh, what's he gonna write about? This should be funny." And he was like... His article was just... "Hello, my name is blank, and I like shooting crows on my spare time."
Shooting crows.
He was like really, really like countryside Irish. He was just like, "There's nothing better than just unloading a shotgun on an unsuspecting crow."
Goodness gracious.
Sometimes I imagine if it was my parents.
It was really funny.
Perhaps all of my classmates.
Were all the kids laughing?
Yeah, everyone was like, "Why the fuck did you write about this, you idiot?" And he's like, "I thought it'd be good.
I thought it'd be good.
I thought it'd be fucking good." I remember when I was younger, I was in my house and I was very, very young, and my mom and dad's friend brought over this tiny girl who was like, "Have you seen Bartok the Magnificent?" And I was like, "No," and she's like, "It's really good."
It's not.
I know.
That poor small child.
She broke a bunch of my shit.
because
you didn't like the movie.
I never heard of it.
Bartok told me to. Bartok. There was a scene in the movie.
Yeah.
Is that what she sounded like, Chris?
God, what was their names? There was two little sisters, and they were fucking insane. I can't remember their names.
Helga and Smelda.
They were super Irish names. Fucking can't remember at all.
Magnifica and the Borg.
Irito.
Irito.
And Irishi.
Irishia.
Contravening Article 52 of the NC General Statutes. Publicly disrespects and shows contempt for national civils, our military service, and the patriotic soldiers we had once the honor of serving with.
Did you do that at church when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Just mumble.
Dude, one time when I was in school, we were saying prayers, and there was a guy in my school that literally talked like this. "My name is Justin." Like, he literally talked like that, right?
Yeah.
And one time we were saying Hail Mary at the start of class, and halfway through it, I started, like, going, "And blessed be our God," and like, I started doing that voice.
Imitating him?
Yeah, and I thought no one could hear me. I was like, "And blessed is the womb of Dium Jesus, Holy Mary,
Did
Mother
anybody
of
hear
God."
you?
What?
Did anybody hear you?
No, that's the thing. At the end of it, the teacher said, "Chris, I want you to say the entire prayer again, but not in that ridiculous voice you were doing." And she was like really mean about it. And I was like, "Oh."
How old were you again?
Like fucking 7.
Oh, that's way too young to...
Yeah, no, she's a... I legitimately hope she gets a heart attack and dies to this day. She was fucking brutally mean. I hated her. Fucking miserable old fucking bitch who failed at everything.
So much contempt for teachers in this show.
Fucking fat pig.
As a kid, Chucky scared the fuck out of me because if nobody knows, I was terrified of blinking dolls as a child. So
Blinking? What do you mean blinking?
like dolls that blink. You know
why blinking? Why? What?
I don't know. It's one of those phobias that people have that they can't really explain.
Okay, that's fair.
It's just uncanny when a doll blinks and
Yeah.
you don't do anything.
Yeah.
The idea of that is scary. Like I remember one time I was grounded and I was in my room and there was my sister's doll was on a chair and I was looking at it and the whole time I was like, "Don't blink, don't blink, don't blink," in my mind. And then it fucking blinked 30 minutes later. And it blinked. It like blinked. And I remember that and I couldn't say anything. I couldn't scream. I was so scared. But I know that was just my brain playing tricks on me because I was thinking that it was
Were you in
blink.
the dark, like the dead at the dark?
Yeah, it was dark.
No, my eyes play tricks on me in the dark too.
Yeah, it was dark and the light was shining on its fucking stupid face.
Yeah.
And I could see it. It was like something out of a horror movie where the light only shined on a dumbass weird face.
Is this like sleep paralysis or something?
No, I was awake. I was leaning on my bed looking at it, hoping it didn't blink, and then it just blinked.
Just sitting there.
It blinked? What? The
blinked.
doll blinked in your room?
No,
Yes.
he's saying he thinks it was like an illusion or that he
I'm
imagined
pretty sure
it or
my
something.
brain, like,
Oh.
because it's one of those things where it's like, it's happened before where I was laying in bed, like recently a neighbor died at my mom's house.
Yeah.
And I was
And its soul
thinking,
went into the doll?
no, he used to walk by our house all the time, so I would be used to seeing a shadow when he'd come by to like get the lawnmower. And he did that like constantly. So he died a day before he usually got the lawnmower.
Oh.
So the next day when I was asleep at night, I remember what a shadow looked like. I was like, man, I'd be so terrified if a shadow walked by my fucking, my like vividly lit up room.
Yeah.
And a shadow walked by my fucking
That's
room.
scary.
Right when I thought that.
That's
and I
scary.
ran outside because I was like, I was almost in like panic.
This
I
was
couldn't believe
recent?
what I saw. No, this was like 10 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And
This is your brain going insane.
yeah, it was, dude, your brain can do a lot of scary shit. If you're constantly like, I don't want to see anything, you're gonna fucking see something.
Yeah.
Because you put your brain on edge.
One night when I was really young, I had to sleep in my mom and dad's bedroom, and they had a
no.
no, they didn't fuck or nothing. but they had a similar.
Fucked next to you.
You went, oh no, here we
And they were
go.
like, Chris, stop making so much
No,
noise.
shut up!
They blinked at you.
They had a similar painting on their wall that was like a weird, like old-timey painting, and I would look at it and I would see little things move, right? And then I'd look over at my dad, who was also like just awake in bed, and he'd look over at me. And then look back at the painting, and there'd be little moving guys look back at him, and he'd look back at me. And I was just like, wow, he knows what he sees it too. He knows what's going on. And then in the morning, I'd be like, Dad, remember those little moving things? He was like, no, you were just freaking me out. And I was like, it's like, oh, sorry.
And the little moving guys, they say, shut up.
No, those little moving guys are fucking assholes.
I mean, we talked about this before. We talked about like sleep paralysis. Like I haven't had sleep paralysis in quite a long time.
Oh.
But I have seen, like, at my old dad's house when we used to live somewhere. I don't know where the fuck. It wasn't Vermont, but it was maybe somewhere in Iowa. I used to live next to a playground.
Yeah.
So we saw shadows a lot. Because we didn't live next to a playground. Like, right across the street was a playground.
Right.
And I remember I used to see, like, people on the ceiling just dancing, just spinning around, just shadows just dancing.
That's scary. I recently just made my sleep paralysis demon in Blender.
Really?
Yeah. So I didn't forget it.
Oh shit, that's
Here,
awesome.
it's on screen right now. Wow.
Why do you put that on when we play a game, Chris?
I'm sorry.
Jeff smiled when he saw it.
A little bit.